champagne problems, champagne problems. So pour a glass and let's drink up all my champagne problems. If you do not know who that is, that's Meghan Trainor, one of the best pop artists to ever exist. I love her with my heart. And so I am Ellis, which is obvious from the name. I don't know why I felt I need to say it again, but anyway, that's the name, Honty. And Hunko, I know there are males who watch my channel, which I love you fellas. And well, I like to assume when I make these videos that it's just me and a bunch of y'all. We just drinking and talking, have just this conversation, because today we're gonna be talking about Zichi cannot leave me alone. Don't live in the farm, people. Anyway, so today we're gonna be talking about relationship problems or champagne problems. I don't know why we're talking about champagne problems when she ain't rich, but like the soul is wealthy. So we're fine. We're transfinancial, which is when you are born in an average family, but you have a dire, tired, hard set mindset to become rich. That's the goal, Honty. That's the goal. Anyway, so welcome back to my channel, and today let's talk about this. I basically gathered a bunch of questions from the discussions that I've gone through. I mean, I would send out a Q&A. I did. I sent out a Q&A, but you guys like to ignore me like everybody else in life, and the chickens won't stop like cocoing, which means I'm gonna keep talking while they're cocoing. So I hope you can hear me. Cocoing is not a word, is it? It's fine. English is not my first language. I had a couple questions from different discussions that I've been in about relationships, different questions that people usually ask me, just basically FAQs, frequently asked questions about relationship. I don't really know why people ask me questions about relationships when your girl has been single since 1997, but then the meme does say, coaches don't play, son. So your favorite relationship coach is here to answer some questions about relationship, which is my favorite topic to talk about. I love this piece, but it's making me super uncomfortable, which is why I keep fixing my collar. Forgive moi, but we're gonna be alright. Now let's get into this video. Let's get into these questions. The first question is, okay, so I sent out a Q&A last week, and only one person asked the question, because that's how much I'm being ignored in my life. Can you relate? No? Okay. When are you going to date? Yesterday. I was on a date yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. I was at school yesterday doing what I least like to do, which is called studying. Okay, ain't nothing else. I don't know when I'm going to date, people. I don't know. You know who knows? Him. And I don't know. Okay, next question. Would you rather date a guy with a female best friend or a guy with a nosy sister? Wow. I got this from a video. I didn't even get this from my discussions, but I thought it's going to be an interesting question to answer, because I like making videos. I like talking and giving my 2 cents about things, whether people want to hear it or not. I don't know. But I'm going to answer my question. I'm going to give my opinion on this question, because here's the issue. I've always been on the other side of this end. Like, I've always been the female best friend. Like, I've never, which clearly, because I've never been in a relationship, so I've never been on the side where it's the guy with a female best friend, or be with a guy that has a nosy sister. But I genuinely already not exactly like, I love them unconditionally because they're human, but I don't particularly like nosy people, because, you know, minding my business and drinking my water like it's a full-time job is the calling I've been given in life. Or caffeine. But the reality of the matter is, a female best friend, it really depends, because while I have been on the other hand, and I have had, okay, these girls have never come to me, because we all know I don't got time for crap, because that's exactly what I would have done. Just, I don't know what I would have done. But they never come to me, but they complain to their boyfriends, guys, flings, whatever, that who's the girl, is she really a friend, da, 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 da. And so, yes, I have had a couple guys have problems because they're friends with me. So Now, thinking of it from the other perspective, it really depends. What is this friendship? Because the reality of the matter is, I have been friends with a lot of people, but I am no wood. I am a human with a soul and spirit and flesh, which means in the soul, the emotions, which means those emotions sometimes got caught feelings for some of these folks. So what I would really ask the guy is, what is the friendship that you have with this person? What was the foundation? Like, what is this story from? Is it that you guys tried to date and then it didn't work out and then now you're best friends? Because that's a no. I would rather have a nosy sister than that. Actually, I'd rather have none. Or is it you have always been friends? And if you've always been friends, are you completely sure that you've never had any feelings at all for her? Because if you have and you've never told her, let's hold the thought of us dating, and then you go confess your feelings. Be a man. Go confess your feelings, get rejected or whatever, and then from there we can move on. Because the last thing I want is to be in a relationship and then one day before the wedding, this girl comes around and the female best friend, who's probably a maid of honor too, is one of the bridesmaids, and she's like, I've always loved you. And the guy's like, why didn't you tell me? What am I going to do now? Maybe it's the effect of something borrowed, but all I know is these situations of female and male best friends can be pretty funny. And so, would I date a guy with a female best friend? It really depends. Nosy sister, there's nothing I can do about that. So would I rather? I can't choose one because I don't like both situations. But a female best friend does sound better though. Yeah, I'd rather have a female best friend if it's just friendship, because yeah, guys do have female best friends who literally have no feelings for it. I'm a living witness. Can I get a witness? Who pays the bill on a date? I don't even know why this is an actual significant question, because it's pretty obvious. Who asked who? Who asked who? Who asked the other? Because let's be real. If the girl, because it's 2019 and everybody's shooting their shot. So this girl asks a guy on a date, yeah? This guy has sacrificed he could be gaming, he could be watching a tech review, he could be watching Avengers for the 10th time. Just saying, but he gave this time. He could be out with another girl, but he gave you his time, which means if you ask for it, you pay for it. Duh. Yeah, you don't agree? I don't care. And you're all the other way around. You ask me for a date. If I ever say yes, it means I'm sacrificing. First of all, I'm getting dressed up. Not even dolled up, because we don't. Today we have lipstick and eyebrows. We tried. Today we tried. But on a daily basis, I don't think we usually try. Sacrificing, I'm getting dressed, because that means I'm sacrificing being in undies and tank tops, which is all I wear when I'm home. And sacrificing watching YouTube, Netflix, K-drama, Filipino teleseries. There's a lot of stuff that I'm sacrificing to come spend time with you. Baby, you paying that bill. But let me just allow me to give some advice on a rule that I've made for myself after hearing this trauma. Okay, so here's the issue. I heard of this story, I think when I was in like Form 3 or something. I think I was 15 or something. Anyway, I heard of this story where a girl went out with a guy, and this wasn't a story of like someone her age, it was some adult. And so they went out on a date. It wasn't even like super fancy. It was just a regular restaurant. They went to eat and they had drinks. And this girl, being the girl that she was like, hey, someone's paying the bill. I'ma order like it's the end of the world. And she ordered like it's the end of the world. You know how some girls do, because they go out on dates to eat, which is a really poor mentality. But let's not talk about that. Ordered all this stuff, and it was time to pay the bill. So the guy calls on for the bill and he's like, yeah. Can you bring the bill? But before the bill comes, before the waiter brings the bill, he goes to the washroom. Hunty, when I tell you he never came back, I mean to date. It's 2019. He has not been seen. The Fire Nation attacked. He never came back. And that's what's up. So the girl was broke and had no money to pay. She was stuck. She had to talk to the waitress. I don't know how the situation ended. and I don't remember the end of the story, but all I remember is that story. And so I promised, and from then I made a vow to myself, if I am broke, I don't go out on a date. I rarely go on dates anyway, but then it goes from 20% chance of yes to 0.1% of yes if I'm broke. So yeah, I'm just gonna warn you, if you broke, stay at home, because you don't know who you're going out with. Humans are interesting. Humans can be quite interesting. So don't take the chance, okay? Plus, one more thing on this question: if we're in a relationship, I don't see any problem with splitting the bill. I don't see any problem with paying for the date. You can take your man out on a date. I don't see a problem. I want to take you to dinner. I'm gonna pay the bill. I can do all that, unless it's a person. I know guys who just genuinely don't like people paying for them, so there's that. But in case he would accept me paying for the bill, if we're in a relationship, I would. Splitting the bill is fine if we are already in a relationship. But if you asking for my time and I ain't even sure if I'm gonna give you my time, but I say yes anyway, yeah, you paying. Should your man give you allowance? Today we're just talking about, as I say, we're talking about money and we're talking about relationship. So basically, that's where we're at. I'm not gonna say a wise person because I don't know if they're wise, but a person once said, a man's money is only attractive to a broke woman. I am not gonna state whether I support that. I am not gonna state whether I support that sentence or not, because I don't know. What I do know, however, is that however, what I do know is that this is a thing around here. I have not gone all around the world. I have not met everyone around the world, but I know for a fact that it's a pretty big deal around here when a girl is dating a guy, for the guy to give her, I call it allowance, the same thing I call what your mom gives you, the same thing I call what your dad gives you, or your sibling gives you, or your guardian gives you. An allowance, where he gives you money to spend on either clothes or shoes or hair or nails or whatever. Or say you're going out with your friends, then he gives you some money. And I've also interacted with some people from other cultures who, yes, can give their girls money on particular circumstances, but it's not such a thing as it is around here. Which brings me to a point. This is a cultural question. It's a question of what is the relationship between you two, and what is it that you guys accept as a norm in your relationship, and what is not a norm in your relationship. Do I think it's wrong? No. But then if you're like me, and I know that there are probably very few out there, because I'm always attacked when I say this in public, I don't like receiving hard cash. I don't know why you're giving me cash. You're not my dad, you're not my mom. And I used to think it's a pride thing, which is my biggest fear. I'm always like, Lord, please don't give me pride. Please don't let pride stay in me, because like pride leads to destruction, and ain't nobody got time to be destroyed, okay? Ain't nobody got time to be hated by everyone because they're arrogant. No one has time for that. So I always try. It's hard, but I always try to pray that I don't become this proud person who cannot accept things or cannot receive love or thinks they're better than anybody else. So it struck me when one person once told me that that's pride. But then I came to realize that it's not. And if you're like me and you're thinking that maybe you should bow down to the rest of the people in our culture that want that, I don't think you should. If you don't like receiving cash, then that's for you. It's all right, because maybe you prefer it in another form. Because that same amount of money that you would give me, if you were to spend it to say, buy a plane ticket, let's go to whatever and have fun. Or if you're supposed to spend that same amount, I think I said this a similar thing in my preference and status video, which link will be down below. If you were to spend that same amount of money and say, yo, what's your business? What are you doing? Is there a company you want to start? What's your goal? What's your dream? Can I invest in your business? By all means, sweetie, if you're going to put money in my business, it's all right. Let's prosper. If you want to start a business with me, let's do it. Or if you're going to at least, like, for example, I do YouTube, buy me a camera or maybe a laptop, like, but giving me just money to go spend on my daily needs. I don't know. I just feel like that's a parent's choice, which is not a responsibility I should ever give to a guy. That's just what I think. Even when we do get married, we are partners. I'm not your child. Yes, emotionally, maybe, but like financially, I think it should be partnership, not the other way around. Yes, you're the head. Yes, you're the protector, but of our children, not necessarily giving me hard cash. That's just what I think. If you're like me, then sweetie, you're not the only weirdo. Here's another weirdo, from one weirdo to another. And I know for a fact that in the Western world, I'm definitely not the only one. There are a lot of women who would not take a man's money because they simply do not need it for anything. They literally ever use their, like, they just don't need it. What's your opinion on girlfriends doing chores at their man's place? So, I've been asked this, excuse me. So I've been asked this a couple times by different people in different spaces. So here's what I think. This question is actually very relatable to the question that I just answered previously, the one about receiving allowance or receiving money or whatever from a guy, or expecting it from a guy, you know? As an expectation. Yeah, we're talking about expectations here. Or should a man expect a girlfriend to do the chores at his place just because they're in a relationship? First of all, this is a very cultural thing. We could live in the same country and still have very different cultures because it's 2019. The internet has taken over the world, and so a person chooses whether to belong to the culture that they're being raised in or to be more open-minded and allow themselves to be exposed to other people's culture and take what they see fit for their life and whatever. So really, it's a cultural thing. Yes, what is this person's culture? Yeah? And I know a lot of people are probably either not going to agree with me or are going to be shocked that I even think like this. But I personally think it depends. It is completely not wrong for you to do chores at your man's place. Why? And it's not wrong for a man to expect you to do it. I see your shock. But here is my issue. If you can expect a man, because this thing started traditionally, this thing started years and years ago when a woman didn't work. So a man's job was to provide financially. A woman's job was to take care of a household. Why do you want to hold the man to the same standard of providing money for you, yet you don't want to be held by the same standard of taking care of the household? Food for thought. You want to receive the cash to go get your nails done, but you also don't want to sweep his place. If you don't agree with me, that's for you. This is my opinion on. So bro, bro, if you're giving her money, she can come wash your clothes. It's all right. Because for those of us who don't like receiving cash, you know what else we don't like? Chores. And that's why we have decided to spend our energy working hard, getting money, so we can have our own money and have our own households and run them the way we want to run them. Yeah? And meet men who are willing to like run them that way. What we are not here to do is clean anyone's house. I got work to do, sweetie. But if your only work to do is to receive money, then you also have the time to go wash a brother's clothes. That's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying. If you don't agree, that's all right. Man, why would anybody ask me this? Obviously, I do not know. Do you see a ring? No, me, I don't know. But what I can tell you is basically how to not be with the wrong man, if that's how you put it. Like, I can't give you a clear formula of so how do you find a good bad, because clearly I haven't found him. But even if I did, and when I do, there will not be a formula. There's no one size fits all. There's no dating app. You can be on all the dating apps in the world. You can go out every weekend. You can sex it up. You can, by sex it up, I meant like dressing up and like just taking care of yourself and looking presentable, whatever, dressed up or dressed down. But there is no particular formula to getting a good man. But there are things that you can watch out to avoid a bad man, should I say. That anybody who will make you compromise with your standards, know your preferences. If you don't know the difference, then link will be down below for my video. Who will make you compromise with your standards, whether it's spiritually, maybe there's standards that you set for yourself spiritually, or it's self-worth, or maybe it's your career, your goals. Anybody who's not willing to love you and accept you for you and support your dreams and goals is probably not the right person for you, because they're gonna drain you and they're gonna leave you out and dry. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Welcome back next week for another video. If I stepped on some of your toes, that's alright. We're human beings. That's what we do. I love you and I'll see you in my next video.